sorry about the lack of Death Battle content recently. I can only really upload when Death Battle uploads, and they've mainly been making Desk of Death battles, which are just boring. Anyway, I'm here today to talk about the teaser trailer for Death Battle, second half of Season 9. And I'm really excited for it. They fully revealed one of the fights, which most people already knew, but the 3 new characters they revealed are honestly so exciting. Right, first of all, John Wick versus James Bond. This was one which most people already knew was happening since around the time of Raiden vs. Excalibur, but it's now that anyone who is on YouTube knows. And that's obviously cool. Right, so this is actually quite fun for me because I'm not 100% sure about either character. I've not seen any of the films from either series, but I do have a base understanding of the two, so I do know things about who could win this duel. And I'm gonna have to go against what a lot of people are saying right now and say that I believe the winner will be James Bond. The main reason for this is a little thing called experience. So, for those of you who haven't seen some of the films, John Wick has had 3 films, which for most series is pretty good. It's a nice trilogy. They're even working on a 4th. James Bond has been in 27 films. Yes, 27. Meaning he has 9 times more experience. At least I think it's 9 times. I'm not that great at math. Whatever. Though, at the same time, another thing that goes in Bond's favor is the kind of villains they've been facing. Like, Wick, he faces off against maybe your average mafia man. You know, classic bad guy going, wahaha. He fights the mafia, basically. Meanwhile, James Bond has fought his way through most, if not all, of Soviet Russia, as well as multiple maniacal supervillains. Yeah. To put it simply, I think some of the things James Bond has done has just been on a higher caliber than anything Wick's done. So, it is my personal belief that James Bond will be the winner of this duel. But that's not all we have to talk about today, since we also have the idea of 3 brand new characters on Death Battle, starting off with Black Adam. And I already know as soon as people saw him, about 90% of the Death Battle community just popped off. Mainly people who are subbed to Biffweed, which I feel like anyone who's watched these videos are probably subbed to Biffweed. He's like the 2nd biggest channel that covers Death Battle content. Yeah, just if you're not subbed to Biffweed and you're somehow watching this, go sub to Biffweed now. Like, I'm not even asking, just do it. He makes good stuff. But basically, his most likely opponent is Apocalypse. And Black Adam vs. Apocalypse is a fight which people have wanted for forever. Most people already kind of had the understanding that it was going to happen eventually, since it's had a DBX at this point, and also it's been covered by Death Battle Cast, and they've just said, well, it's a fight we'd be interested in doing. So, honestly, I think it does fit in quite well with the theme of anything can happen this season, since it is a very out-there fight where there's a lot of possibilities. I'm not going to get into it too deeply here because it's definitely a video topic in itself, but to put it simply, from what I can tell, Black Adam is stronger, but Apocalypse has a much better healing factor. So it's essentially an unstoppable force meeting an immovable object. Right, next up we have one which definitely gets me less excited. And it's Trunks. Honestly, I'm fine with DBZ on Death Battle. I know it's going to be a good fight, But why Trunks? Out of every character, why would you go with Trunks? I mean, especially since we already had Vegeta earlier this season. And then it also asks the question, if you're fine with doing 2 of a popular series, well, you're kind of removing one of your biggest arguments for not doing Omni-Man vs. Bardock, which, you know, was a much more popular fight at the time. Was it because you wanted to do Trunks vs. Silver? Because that's what's the most likely fight. I honestly could not care less about that fight. Trunks is like the most generic Super Saiyan. I've heard he could fight Crom or Krona or something, but it's gonna be Silver, be honest. And that fight also annoys me, because it means it's basically put the final nail in the coffin towards Bowser vs. Eggman. And honestly, at this point, I'm starting to think that Season 10 might just be the greatest season of all time, just due to fights which Death Battle can't do now, due to having too many of the same series on the show this season. Just think about it. We can get Armstrong vs. Funny Valentine and Bowser vs. Eggman in one season. Plus, Season 10 might see the ending of Attack on Titan, so we could get Eren vs. Ken Kaneki. Honestly, if they were to get all 3 of those fights into one season, Death Battle Season 10 will probably end up being my favorite season of all time. Yeah, I don't care much about Trunks vs. Silver. Trunks stomps, most likely. I mean, he scales to Frieza. He probably scales even further, maybe even a Goku. Wait, he might even have light scalings to Goku Black. I'm not 100% sure though. But the final fight is the one which got me really hyped, because it's goddamn Sauron. As in, big eye in the sky, Lord of the Rings man, Sauron. Out of all the characters that Death Battle have shown recently, he's one of the ones which I'd least expect to ever show up on Death Battle. Like, granted, I didn't exactly expect Sun Wukong to show up, but, you know, Sauron's definitely up there. A lot of people want him to fight one of the big villains from, World of Warcraft, but I'm hoping for Voldemort personally, and it's purely because I'm a Potterhead. Like, I'm someone who absorbs Harry Potter content. It's one of my favorite book series of all time. And I think a fight like that would be really fun. I'm not gonna make a video on it though. Wait, I'm not gonna talk about it here. I want to make a video on it, basically. And I'm probably gonna have to wait until I get more info on Sauron. I kinda gotta figure out what he's like. Like, will they include the ring? And the main thing is, if they do Voldemort, I'll be planning on getting him to survive the killing curse. Like, you can't survive the killing curse, it's that easy. It is literally called the killing curse. Wait, the other reason I really hope it's Voldemort is because, I'm gonna be honest, the other time they used Harry Potter has been my least favorite Death Battle of all time. Like, out of every fight ever, Harry Potter vs. Luke Skywalker has been my least favorite, due to how badly they treat Harry in it. I'm probably going to talk about it more when I try and make a Season 1 ranking video. Like, I think I'm going to do that, I'm not 100% sure. But if I do, just know that fight is going to be slandered to high heaven. Alright? Honestly, let me know if you want to see some ranking videos. I plan on making one for Season 6, since I've already pretty much wrote up my opinions on it. And I can do the same thing for Season 1. But I think, if you guys don't want to see it, then there's not really much point in it. Yeah. I just want to quickly talk about some other fights which I think can happen. The main one for me is Bill Cipher vs. Discord. It's one which a lot of the Death Battle community have talked about for a while, and whilst it might not be Discord per se, I do think Bill Cipher will be in this season. Since the whole theme is, it's doing out-of-the-box characters who might not generally be on Versus shows, And out of every character, the little triangle of mayhem is definitely one of those ones where I think it could be really fun. Also, if it is Bill Cipher versus Discord, then we'll finally get one of the fights from my video of my dream death battle fights. And I think that would obviously get me to pop off. I'm probably gonna have to remake that video one day, because a lot of fights have changed in my opinion recently, and there's a lot more which I want now. I also do think there's a good chance we're getting a Onepiece fight this season, mainly due to the ending of Wano. I think that's a pretty big thing, and I think it makes sense that they'd show off a Onepiece fight. As for what the fight is, personally, I'm not 100% sure, but if I were to say one, I'd probably say something like Atomic Samurai versus Draco Mihawk, because that's a fight involving two characters who might not show up as often, and also we kind of need a One Punch Man rap as well. You know, because One Punch Man's basically over. It's actually quite a fun fight if you involve scaling. Also, if we hadn't gone a JoJo fight, I might have said Crocodile versus Diavolo. Because, let me tell you, that is a certified banger fight. Also, in fact, if we hadn't gone a JoJo fight, we probably would have gone Jolene versus Doflamingo. Honestly, that's another good fight. Honestly, JoJo and One Piece just have such good fights for each other. Go watch them. Go, see some ideas for them. I also wanted to talk about one more fight, and that's, the main character from Owl House versus the main character from Amphibia. Personally, I don't think it's happening this season. Now, that's not because I don't think the fight's happening, no. On the contrary, I think it will happen. It's just, I think it'll happen next season. That's mainly because Owl House isn't over yet, whilst Amphibia is, and that's kind of unfair. It's one of the reasons why characters like Deku and Luffy haven't shown up yet, because the series aren't over, and the characters will get more powerful. It's also why people constantly complain about Goku vs. Superman, because characters evolve in strength over time, and because of that, fights start getting a little, unfair after a while. I mean, that's one of the big reasons why we remake fights. So I think it wouldn't really make sense to do that fight just to have to remake it next year, when Owl House comes out. When Owl House Season 3 comes out and they do some funky stuff. Though I'm pretty sure the main character from Amphibia will still probably end up winning. Whatever. I think that's just about everything I have to cover in this video. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and see you guys there. Bye!